The situation with Shannon Sharpe that ended up happening, you know, a lot of times you have guys his age, that a lot of just even on average, men come into their financial prime around, let's say, starting at 35 to 55, right? That's when your financial prime starts to happen. And of course, Shannon Sharpe definitely is in well above, the financial prime, the amount of money that he has made. And also he done messed off, right, with this situation he's in. But I want you to hear what this stripper has to say about how even though the girl's 19, how they really run their pockets, those dudes that's like in their 50s, like Shannon Sharpe.
Fellas, you are not smarter than an S worker, no matter how young she is. You're not smarter than her. Take it from someone who has worked in a strip club for years. She has years, even at her young age. Sometimes they start at 15. They know what to say, what fantasy to tell to feed into your narcissistic or your high self-inflated, arrogant ego to get you to spend money. This is why I say that men get better as they age. You don't get better as you age. Your money do. This is why Shannon Sharpe is in the position that he is now, overestimating a young woman's attraction to him. The big program, the reason why S workers chase after old men is because they know they're arrogant enough to think that they actually want them, to actually believe it. So when you stop paying and you stop feeding into that fantasy, things like this happen. Lawsuits, they start calling your job because it's never about you. It's about the money, right? You don't know how many times 20-year-old dancers at my job have ruined 40-year marriages because a 60-year-old man swore this 19-year-old wanted him and she wiped him clean. I've seen Shannon Sharpe 1,000 times at the strip.
Yeah, well, and that's why I'll never fancy that place. I'll say, man, why would I want to go to a place with some woman that's just rubbing up on every man and she's just trying to get $1 out of me? I have a thing about that. Like, nah, I'm so cool. I'm cool. That's like, to me, going to throw my money in the trash. And my money's worth something. You know what I'm saying? And I said, listen, I don't want a woman doing that to me. I said, because then now you're going to be ready to do something, and then she's going to try to run your pockets on that too. If you're going to pay for something, I guess just go pay for it somewhere. I guess. I don't know if that's what you want to do. But any man who thinking some 19, 20-year-old girl in America, of all places, really wants you like that, you a fool and a half. Yeah, she wants your money, bruh. She knows dudes her age that don't have no money like that on average. She knows that. She knows the older men that got the money because they more set in their business. They more set in their career. They making real good money. So, yeah, like, hey, you come in now with your nose wide open at that age, and if you really think that them young women want you, then, now if you come in now, you understand it's just on some tricking. You get it, then hey. But, you silly to be trying to set up here 50s and 60s trying to fall in love with some 20-year-old, especially at the strip club of all places, right? Let's go ahead and continue.
60, 70-year-old man, 60.
70? What grandpa doing? Grandpa tricking in strip club too, but hey, I'm not doubting it. I'm not doubting it at all because we've heard worse.
50, 60-year-old man, sometimes married, sometimes not, think the girls in there really want them when they're only looking at the price tag.
Now, how you married in there, though? That's what I'm saying. Like, you're married. You got a whole wife at home, and you're in there. And yes, I understand there's some issues that happens in marriage that maybe can create that kind of environment where you want to go a place like that, but that's still not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Whatever issues you got going on, you deal with that with your wife. And if the relationship is not what it is, and you can go it on, and y'all need to be adults about it and go do what you're going to do. But that would never be good, because if you go to divorce court, and she say, hey, he was spending all our money in the strip club, man, the judge gonna just the judge gonna beat you down in that courtroom and take everything from you.
That aged gracefully, not him. And I hate when y'all say, oh, these girls be looking for a daddy. Y'all always say these girls looking for a daddy. Women who want men to spend money and do things are looking for a daddy. But y'all never say that the men in there are looking for a daughter. The men in there that want to date somebody 20 years young, y'all never say they're looking for a daughter.
No. why would a man go look for a daughter on the street? I mean, but how many times have we heard women say, "Oh, I like older men because they remind me of more of a father figure." I mean, we was going off of what women have said. I haven't known a single man that say, "I'm going to the strip club. I'm going to sleep with some 21, 25-year-old when you like 60 because I'm looking for a daughter." That didn't really hit right for me. I'm just saying, it just don't even sound right, because I'm telling you, as a man, that's not what they're looking for. They looking to get it in between some young, you know what.
You're not smarter than them. You don't age gracefully. Your money do. Tore Tracy Ellis Ross down thinking nobody wanted her, when in reality nobody wanted Shannon either. They wanted his money. For you to build such a big empire and let a 19-year-old knock it down, kudos to her, because she's a smart one. You got bigger issues to worry about. Stop thinking S workers are naive because they're S workers. It's furthest from the truth.
Well, yeah, I give her that. Well, you're not really smart because you're selling your body for money. That can't be smart, because when you're selling your body for money and the type of environment that you're in, you could really lose your life if you mess with the wrong one. You open your mouth about the wrong one, you could lose your life. You understand what I'm saying? You can get diseases that you can't get rid of. You can get all kinds of things that happen to you, right? So no, you're not really smart selling your body like that. You could sell everything else but your body. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Let any old person in your body, touching your body, doing whatever on your body. No, you're not smart. But you have to be, a little conniving. You have to be deceptive, manipulative. I give you that to make these men feel like you care about them, or they're the only one. You got to do that. I definitely know you got to do that. But really, like I said, at the end of the day, when it comes to people like Shannon Sharpe, he's the dummy. Let me tell you something. At Shannon Sharpe's age, de-discipline, he should have been the master of de-discipline. And one thing with de-discipline, there's nothing a woman can tell you. Because at that point, even if you want to get you some, it ain't nothing she can really tell you to make it look. You say, look, one thing I'm not about to do is mess up my bag. I'm not saying certain things on a text message. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not doing nothing. Nope. Certain behaviors you don't engage in, because when you get a certain amount of money, now everybody looking at you, especially when you're public like that. Now, they got dudes that got a whole lot of money and nobody know who they are. And that's actually the perfect person to be, is when you can be behind the scenes. Nobody know who you are. You got more freedom to move. Right? But when it comes to situations like with Shannon Sharpe and things like that, he should have moved a lot different. But like I said, he should have got him a wife. He should have got him a wife. Even if he wanted a young wife, people can disagree, but even he went and got him a young wife, and I would say in his position, preferably not in America, get you a young wife from overseas, and you can bring her back here and whatever the case may be and do your work or whatever. But he should have had him a wife. That's it. But, there's rumors going around, about Shannon too, and you've been hearing these statements that some of these men date snow bunnies because they got something else going on. The snow bunny let them engage in certain behaviors that maybe sisters won't let them engage in, if you know what I mean. We talking about the area of bussy, right? But, hey, I'm a firm believer of this. The scriptures teach you that a fool and his money shall depart. And that's really what it is. You being a fool. And that's going to happen every time. Be a wise man to keep his money, but a fool won't. So, yeah, if you think you can outsmart, a woman that know how to manipulate men, and women know how to manipulate men very well. That's why you got to be at that level as a man. There's nothing they can do to manipulate you, because you're not open for them to get to you enough. But women are the most dangerous thing ever to a man. Women are. Because women can get underneath what you call your defenses. They can get underneath that. But you got to open up a door enough for women to get underneath your defenses. But if you're a man that you got yourself completely locked down, like a fortress, nothing a woman can tell you, nothing. Because especially you're not looking for nothing, right? So I say to men at all times, keep your fortress up. Keep it up, have de-discipline, and you will not have no issues and problems. Nobody going to take your